All right, I think I'm going. This is the purple varietal white tea from Yunnan sourcing. I really liked the cakes, and so I figured I would try the white tea. It smells very sweet, like a typical white tea. Leaves all intact, really nice. Definitely a very much a fruity smell. It's like a strawberry fruit roll-up, you know? Not fresh strawberries at all, but legitimately like a strawberry fruit roll-up. Man, I remember those fruit roll-ups that had the little strawberry seeds in there. It's more like that. All right, and then this is the cold brew. Really try to get the leaf right, but I don't think it's overbrewed at all. Been looking forward to this for a while. Let's see what we get. All right. Nice color. Definitely not going to be a weak brew. I can tell already. It's really pretty. Very clear, very clean. Almost no activity at all. Okay. There's a little bit of bitterness in there. Still sweet. It's trying to get the flavor. It's definitely still fruity, but there's something else going on. I like to say that bitterness is there for sure. Not super bitter at all. And I'm sure that has something to do with the amount of leaf too. Like I said, I really tried to make sure I didn't use too much or too little. And I may have overbrewed it just a bit. I'll find out for sure once I brew this up. Let's go at this again. Definitely still a fruity sweetness, but it's definitely more mineral for sure. Yeah, if I've heard of this stone fruit, I'm not sure if I've ever had stone fruit, but putting those two words together is definitely what this reminds me of, because it is very much a mineral thing going on, but there's still that fruit sweetness kind of on the back end. I really like it. I really do. And I want to say too, thinking about these purple varietals, you know, they're known for being, especially the new ones, they're known for being strong, right? Lots of caffeine and really just sort of abrasive when they're young. And so being that this is a white tea, hardly any processing. I mean, it looks like it was rolled a little, but definitely not a heavy rolling at all. I mean, there's definitely some flat leaves in here. So, you know, with that being the case, it's actually really smooth, but definitely a purple tea. No question about it. It packs a punch for sure. If this was any other white tea, I would say, you know, maybe, I don't know, but this one, like I say, being that it's a purple, being that it is so brand new, it makes a lot of sense. So I'm not measuring this, kind of eyeballing it. Usually I do like a tablespoon, but I got so much in this sample. I mean, it's almost, if you're not sourcing, it's just giving it away. All right, so I'm gonna wash these leaves up, and I'm gonna hit this with really hot water and see what happens. Then I'm gonna step it down after that. Let's see. I'm really expecting these leaves to really change color. And you know what? I didn't bring. So I'm gonna bless the floor a little bit here. I like that. Oh yeah, this bouquet is beautiful. Oh wow. Man, that's really changed. So it's a oh man, it's hard to describe. It's now it's a milky sort of maybe caramel something going on. Look at that bouquet. It's beautiful. Love that. And it's the same thing with those cakes too. I mean, it's just gorgeous. But yeah, definitely milk for sure. Milk and very light caramel. Very light caramel. But man, heavy on the milk. Very heavy on the milk. I wouldn't expect that. Now I'm curious to see what happens with other purple varietals, or specifically those wild trees from Dahong, you know? Those white teas. See if those are milky as well. I didn't pull up the information on this one, so I'm not sure where it's from. I have to assume it's from Dahong, but it just says purple varietal, so. Damn, that's like straight up milk. It's crazy. All right. So again, very clean brew. Color's a bit lighter than the cold brew, but it was pretty fast brew. Not a lot of activity, just a little bit. Let's see what we get. I don't have a lot to say about this. There's no bitterness at all. There's a sweetness, but I'm gonna definitely have to steep this longer. My water's cooling off too. Okay, I'm gonna try this with like really hot water and steep it for longer and see what I get. Because that was a weak brew. All right, so I'm thinking I'm gonna get a stronger brew this time. But I think I'm still gonna do it pretty quick because that water was pretty cold. Definitely wanna do this tea some justice. And those teas are really opening up now too. All right, so maybe what, 10, 15 seconds maybe? Something like that. Yeah, still really heavy on the milk. But anything else that was there is kind of fading away now. Still a sweetness there too. It's just the milkiness is really covering it up. So creamy milkiness for sure. All right. Very green tint now. So I think water temperature has a little something to do with it here. What was... No, still not a lot there. Not a lot there. So here's my first impressions. I'm gonna cool the water off and go at this again, but first impressions are, this is definitely a purple varietal, no question about it, which I think is interesting in itself. Like I say, the bouquet is beautiful. It's amazing, you know. And there's a lot to say too about that milky aroma on the wet leaf, and the very sweet and fruity smell on the dry leaf. I mean, it smells so good. I asked someone else to smell it. You know what I'm saying? So that's cool. But the hot brew, it's not very complex. It's just not a lot there. I mean, typically, you know, especially with a new white tea, you expect to have some kind of spring freshness, some sort of sweet something, and this one is just flat, you know. It's closer to a green tea than a white tea. Well, okay. It's definitely not a green tea. Definitely not a green tea. But again, in my opinion, closer to a green than a white. Just because, like I said, it's pretty flat. You do have like that green sweetness in there, but that's really about it. There's nothing else going on. And again, there we go. All right, so let's get some cooler water and see what happens. Also, too, because of the cold brew, I imagine that this tea can be overbrewed, and so I don't know if I maybe want to go back and do it again with like really hot water and just see what happens if I just leave it for a long time. Maybe it'll come back to bite me a little bit. Let's see. So we're probably about 130, somewhere around there. All right, and I'm gonna let this one steep. I don't have my timer with me, but I'm gonna go ahead and just give it as much as my patience will allow. Really pretty bouquet, and the leaves are completely unfurled now. Oh wow. So I'm sure this has everything to do with temperature, but I'm getting that sweet fruitiness back again. While I'm waiting on that, I'm gonna get some more of this cold brew to remind me and try to figure out what this tea is all about. All right. Oh yeah. Definitely fruit sweetness for sure, no question. I just had to be reminded. But yeah, there's more there though. There's not just this fruit sweetness. It's also, I say, there's some bitterness, which again, maybe because I overbrewed it, but definitely a minerality. Okay, so that had to be at least a good minute and a half, almost 2 minutes. Still very, very pretty bouquet. I mean, that's gorgeous. Still heavy on the milk. All right. Now, being that was almost 2 minutes, the color has not changed much at all. Of course, it's cooler temperatures, but still very green. Very green. In my experience, white teas are either very, very faint, you know, almost white, or the aged whites are more in the brown. This might be my first time having a white tea that brewed up green, which I think goes back to the point that this is more closer to a green tea. And again, it's not a lot there, but I think it is interesting just because it does fit the flavor profile of what you'd expect from a purple varietal. And like I said, I never consider price really until I'm ready to actually like buy like a full cake or something. But so I don't remember what but I mean, 25 gram sample, I think this thing is going for maybe $5, $7 maybe, something like that. So, you know, it's interesting. The cold brew is really good. Bouquet is amazing. The smell is awesome. I think I just prefer to cold brew this, and definitely looking forward to the second steeping because of course it'll be a bit weaker, and so maybe that bitterness won't be there. But like I say, it's not a bad bitterness. It's really not. It's just, like I said, it's a minerality thing. Like, it's definitely there. It lets you know that you are drinking a green leaf, you know, like there's substance in it, right? But yeah, there's just nothing going on with the hot brew. It's just, you know, green leaf and water, really. Like I said, there is some sweetness on the back end, but that's all I can really say about it. All right, from me to you, I holla.